Hi. Hi. Hi, everyone. This is Rebeca Fernández from Human Capital Blockchain. I just want to, before we get started, to make sure that everyone can hear me. Not sure if someone can write into the chat. Hello? Can everyone hear me? Perfect. Thanks for responding to that question. So, hi everyone. This is Rebecca. I'm going to be covering the topic that how blockchain will change HR forever. Before we get started, please, if everyone has any questions, please write it in the chat. We will have a Q&A session at the end, so I will take all the questions that you need. So let's get started. So I think everyone maybe knows last week there has been a very big press about Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris has been elected last week as the first VP female, Black and Asian in US. And why I put this as a started, because I really want to set the tone before getting into what is blockchain and how will change HR forever. So first of all, representation matters. And last week has been a very big moment and a historical moment for our history and in general. So I really want to put you just a quick video. Oh, I'm not sure if I can, you can see videos right now. Well, I'm not sure if I can put the YouTube video that I wanted, because I'm just sharing slides. So I just want to say that part of her speech in the minute 13:06, which it was prepared to show to everyone, she talks about systemic racism. And this is something that is the beginning of my story. That we are living in a world with systemic racism. And now I'm going to tell you why me. Why is me, Rebeca Fernández, talking about HR, blockchain, and specifically systemic racism and gender inequality, and she put Kamala Harris at the beginning. Why is me? I'm just not going to go very in detail about myself, but it's because I'm totally into HR. I've been working in the HR industry for more than 10 years. I've been managing HR transformation projects, so always working in HR technology and analytics. And since the last 4 years, I'm found Human Capital Blockchain because I'm as I put in there, I'm totally into blockchain, and I'm going to explain you why. And I'm totally into gender inequality. I think it's clear. It's not because I'm a female, of course, that's one of the first reasons. It's because I don't want to live in an inequality world. I don't want to live in a society where everyone is telling to us that we have systemic racism, systemic gender gap. I want to make a change, and I discovered 4 years ago that the only way that we can change things is through technology, and blockchain is the perfect and the only technology possible to do it so. And this has a huge impact in HR, and I will also explain you in the next slides why. So, as mentioned, we have the real solution, which is blockchain, and we in human capital blockchain we have create what we call the gap tracer, which I'm going to also explain you afterwards. But I just want to tell you that why is this all happening? Why we live in an inequality world? Why we have gender gaps? So basically, I want to point out a snapshot of the current situation. So I put you an image of Kamala Harris that was elected, of course, last week. So it's very, very recent. But this gender gap, racism, and all the situation that we are living at the moment, it is not new. It's coming from many years, nearly a century, even more. And it's not me saying that. We have, for example, the World Economic Forum reports every year about gender gaps. And this year reported that it will take us 100 years to reach gender parity. So we have 100 years to reach gender parity, 94 years to reach the parity in political representation. We have 257 years to reach parity in the wider labor market. And then on top of, we know, as I put you in the first image, that representation really matters. It's what we call the role model effect. So a lot of reports is saying that only 25% of women across the world are holding the 5 critical C-level positions. And due to COVID, because we know, of course, that COVID has impacted everyone, but it is even more harder the impact in women. So according to another report, is saying that, for McKinsey actually, is saying that women has 1.8 times the women's jobs are more vulnerable to this crisis than the men's jobs. And why is this happening? Why we need to be in this inequality world? Why is gender inequality? Why gender gaps? And why we cannot do anything about it? So basically, why is still the gap there after 100 years? So we trying to solve it on a personal basis. We have laws that they are telling to us that we should discriminate people. For example, the Article number 1 of the Dutch Constitution say that, but we still do it. We have human bias, we have gender gaps. Sorry, I just... so why all this happening? So we have human bias, we have discrimination, we have gender inequality opportunities, we have lack of trust, we have lack of transparency, and all is going down to the same thing. We live in a systemic racism, which is also equals to a systemic gender gap. Kamala Harris just said that last week. So I was saying that before, that what is wrong? Why after 100 years we have still the gender gap in there? And our constitution is telling to us, don't do it, but we still do it. Something is not working. Something is wrong. So discrimination is basically a failure, a system failure. It's caused by the indirect layer way of decision making. And therefore, representation matters. And we females, we just have a 25% across the world in that level. For us, justice is efficiency, and we need to go to the root cause. something needs to change. We need to do something a different way. And you might think, what is the solution? The solution is blockchain. And I'm going to tell you why. Why is blockchain? Why I'm saying this? First of all, I would like to give you a very brief introduction about what is blockchain. Blockchain is a technology. So you might have heard about Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is really the first application that was made using blockchain technology. And blockchain is revolutionizing the way we store and share data in a secure, flexible, and auditable way. So traceability, trust, and securedness is key features of blockchain. The whole concept is that blockchain is a distributed layer system. So it's decentralized and make our organizations flat again. Blockchain has the unique power to trust biases, and it makes all the procedures transparent. To try safe and secure is the unique power of blockchain layer technology, and it brings trust. So basically, blockchain kills discriminations, just like it finds any other error or bias. Because you can track, because in blockchain you can track in a secure, transparent, and flexible way. So also, just to give you another insight about blockchain, apart from being a technology, distributed layers technology, which is 100% secure, transparent, it brings trust. A lot of reports and research are saying that it will really heavily impact our market and our way. They say that it's going to be the new internet, the new way of technology, the new way of doing things. And what happened is that many of us, we barely know what is blockchain, but a lot of people around the world is talking that blockchain market will grow $20 billion by 2024, and blockchain will create $3.1 trillion in business value by 2030. So the urgency is there. So the technology is the perfect technology for the systematic racism that we have. It will bring trust and transparency, and therefore we need to hurry up, because in 4 years it will grow massively, and in 10 years it's going to be triple that. And how blockchain will change HR forever? I would like to describe the snapshot of the current situation in HR. I like to describe this in two paradigms, one from the functional perspective and another one from the technical or the system technical perspective. From the functional perspective, in the HR, a few issues that we have currently are that we have difficulties assessing records. That means that when a person goes to company A to company B, there is no track or traceability of that person, of personal information, skills and capabilities, or what I have done in the past anywhere. We just have a piece of paper that could be a CV, or we have sources or places like LinkedIn. But as you can appreciate later on, it is something that I could be lying. And it also, most of the time, takes a lot of time to gather that. Someone is saying to me that they lost me. Sorry, apologies. Someone is saying that keep losing me. Can you hear me okay? Can someone please tell me if you can hear me okay? Because my connection seems to be okay. Okay. It's all good now? Perfect. Great. Shall I go back to any slides or is okay? Shall I go back to any slides or shall I continue? Okay, so I will continue. Apologies, apologies for that. I was saying that blockchain. Sorry, the current situation in HR, we have a lot of issues, and from the functional perspective, we have difficulty to access to the records. It's always take a lot of time to access to the data, to get all the personal information, criminal records, skills, capabilities, education from a person. There is no track of that anywhere. Then we have, of course, human bias. This means that, as we know, and we know that for the gender gap report that we have from the World Economic Forum, we have gender bias, and we know that some of them are unconscious, but we should do our decision in a fairness way. So we don't. Maybe this is something that we also need to change and don't allow our human bias unconsciously to make those decisions and base our statement in skills and capabilities, for example. I will explain that afterwards as well. Then we have unequal opportunities. That's something that it also that we see in the report. I just saw that before. The data is telling us that we have unequal opportunities between men and women, but also between people from different countries. And we need to stop that. We need to make that effort, especially in the HR industry, to stop that. We have gender gaps, as I showed you. We have 100 years to reach gender parity on average, and that shouldn't be happening. We should be treating everyone regardless if you're a man or a woman, just as humans, as equals, because we have skills and capabilities. We should focus on that. We have an issue in the trust and confidentiality of records. It's always a nightmare in the HR industry about trust and how the records are going to keep in there. Universal identity is another big thing. That means that our personal information is not anywhere, and it's always take a lot of time to gather all the information. I will explain that afterwards. And as we know, time spent is money, is effort, and it has also a huge impact in how employees perceive our organization as well. Then we have another issues from the system technical perspective. We don't have lack single proof of data. Based on my own experience managing many HR system implementations around the world, I have been always seeing that there is no one centralized technology system for HR. Even that big names claim it, there is not. There is always this painful exercise that the HR professionals we need to do to gather information from different sources. We have to gather from payroll, from benefits, and therefore there is never going to be data accuracy in the HR industry. It's really time consuming for us. Then we have the interoperability problems on information system. What that means that the systems are disparate. There are no this connection between system in the company, but actually between or in companies. So that doesn't exist just yet. Then we, in the current technology, in any type of system that we have at the moment, we copy and paste data. The data is never accurate, and that's not a very good thing to do, because the human error always is huge. Then with for example, the example of the CVs that I was putting before, I can be lying in there. So we shouldn't be copying and pasting data. The data should be there. Traceability of personal information like experience, skills. I was mentioning before that when I go to company A to company B, there is no record of what I have been doing in the past. What are my skills, my experience? And we need to always start from scratch when we go from one company to another. And we don't do that in the HR industry. It's very painful and very time consuming for us. Semantic of data requirements is not clear, defined, and it's not possible to link systems. That's how systems are at the moment. There is no semantic, there is no a framework that is standardized for that data requirements. Our systems are different, and therefore there is no possibility to link systems at the moment. And then we have system biases, such as artificial intelligence, because the algorithms are also biases. There is a report from the CNBC that was reported a few months ago that engineers for Silicon Valley was actually reporting this, that the algorithms are also biases, and therefore they are building a biases systems. So we should stop all of this in the HR industry, because the HR department is the most important department that we have in organizations at the moment. Human capital is the most important thing that we have in the world, because we are humans, we are human capital. So we need to do something a different way. As mentioned, as you can see down the table, like I'm saying that because of all these problems, it's not possible to trace, to understand, and to eliminate inequalities, gender, that exist in the workplaces. So we know, everyone knows about it, but we cannot fix it. So something needs to change. So with blockchain, organizational HR processes will be more transparent. Therefore, systematic inequalities, biases, and other inefficient human decisions are eliminated. Enforce trust, transparency, error-free, and security. So that's why I'm saying that me, as a HR professional working in the HR technology for many years, I cannot think a better technology that can fit for purpose as blockchain in HR. Then let's talk about a few use cases. Let's talk about recruitment, the recruitment process. As you can appreciate on the table, this is on average how long a recruitment process takes. So on average, a recruitment process takes around nearly 30 days, 27.59. So we have nearly 5 for a screening CV or all applicants, interviewing your applicants 475, checking reference for 5.19. Candidate skill checking is 4.18 days. Collaborating and selecting the candidate for hire is 4.40. Negotiation and confirming a job offer for the candidate is 4 days, 0.30. So it's around 30 days on average it takes to recruit just one person for an open position. So 30 days, again, time spent is money. So, and now let's talk about onboarding process. So another use case. So we have the recruitment process that around take us 30 days for just one open position. And then we have the onboarding process that is also a very big piece. When we have a new employee coming on board in our organization, it really has a huge impact, because the first image that an employee, a person has of our company is crucial. That experience that an employee or a candidate has at the beginning of the recruitment process is crucial, but also the onboarding process is even more crucial, because it's the first day, is the first step that person the first foot that person put in our organization. According to Gallup, 12% of employees strongly agreed that their organization does a great job of onboarding new employees. That means that 88 don't believe that their organization do a great job of onboarding. So that make us think that this is where we need to do a lot of improvement. 58% of organizations across the world says that their onboarding program is focused on processes and paperwork. Most organizations only focus on week 1 on onboarding. So the best employee and the best employee onboarding programs extend through the employee first 90 days and even some of companies a year. The average onboarding, the average new hire onboarding experience consists in 45 activities, which majority of them are admin tasks. Negative onboarding experience results in new hires being 2 times more likely to look for another opportunities. But what we know is that a great employee onboarding can improve employee retention by 82%, which is huge. So with blockchain, and I'm going to explain you afterwards that we will bring back that efficiency and economic value. Time spent in manual verification of experience, skills, and documents will be eliminated with blockchain. So we are envisioning that nearly the whole onboarding process will be eliminated with blockchain. Here in this image, I just explained to you the roadmap of a recruitment process that we are building currently with our human capital blockchain, and we are doing exactly this. So as you can see, this is a very common recruitment process in which we have 3 stages: candidate, organization, and 3 parties. And as you can appreciate in the image, we have put in here inefficiency and injustice. And I'm going to deep dive into this a little bit. Before I have explained to you, I just have 5 minutes, but I'm going to say that before I explain it to you that we have 30 days for the recruitment process. And in here, we are envisioning that we are going to reduce 36%. So here we focus in efficiency and here in injustice, where the job offer came. So just to go a little bit faster, because I just have 5 minutes, I will say that look into all of this data. What is the benefit of blockchain in HR? So in terms of inefficiency, as you can appreciate for the image before, blockchain will remove around 10 days of the process. It will be around, we are envisioning around 36%. So on average, cost per hire is $4,192. Blockchain will save the company $1,486 per hire. Imagine if we multiply that 100. In terms of injustice, is where the offer stage is key for the gender gap. We bring traceability, trust, and transparency. How? With Gap Tracer. Gap Tracer is a product that we have developed that it will really specifically solve the gender pay gap. We look at the HR process at the point that injustice really shows, which is the offer stage, as you can appreciate for the image before. So we look at the stage and use the Gap Tracer to identify the difference of the data, what we call delta, in public. What data? We take the amount of male and female that are getting an offer. We do a very simple count, which also could include skills, capabilities, experience, and extract all the data related to a person on real time. For example, if you offer to 50 women and 50 men and equals 1, your company will be gender parity. So you can appreciate the Gap Tracer index. Of course, if you are greater 1, you'll be gender inequality. You are less than 1, you'll be gender inequality. But if you are equal 100, you will be gender parity. And other capabilities, we can of course sum the weight sum based on role, function, and skill average. It could have multiple and proper HR analytics in there, all based in blockchain. This is how a Gap Tracer will look like, more or less. It will have like a click, and you will click on it, and it will show if you are 100 or if you are 0. And it's something that there is something else that you need to do if you are gender unequal. What is the benefit of using Gap Tracer? Of course, you will get a certification of gender parity in your organization. You will increase your competence advantage, you will increase your trust and your justice awareness. Your company will be more productive, more fair, and more trustfully. You can plug Gap Tracer anywhere, everywhere as blockchain, and connect with all corporate systems. It is 100% secure and confidential. We don't get data out of the system. We just count, divide, and publish the results. We saw exactly what the market wants. Gender inequality will drive economic recovery. According to the World Economic Forum, they reported that global gender gap could add $11.5 trillion to the global GDP by 2028. So also the economic impact that we are going to do in the world is huge. So what blockchain can do that can help make HR industry and digital economics easier for the future? The pandemic has been reckoning. It shows us the weaknesses in our system. Inequality and climate is really what we should focus on. Blockchain creates the possibilities to reorganize ourselves and be a lot of more people-centric and be more a lot of collaborative. Now it's possible to connect data federation and to solve the problem that we currently have in the HR industry with the lack of centralized systems. There are opportunities to build alternatives for new society, different ways of financial system using technology that can enable us to find solutions in time to save the planet. In the end, what really matters is not the money. It is itself the access to resources that each human needs to live healthy and harmonious in the planet. Everyone on the planet needs money, doesn't need money. They need access to housing, security, health, clean water, energies. People need to have access to those things, no money. And this is the new blockchain technology. It makes all of this possible. And we will finally solve the problem between the inequality world that we are living. Thank you to blockchain. Thanks, everyone. So now we have the Q&A session. I would like to see if someone has any question to ask me. Thank you, everyone. People is saying thank you. Thank you. I really enjoy it. I would love to take any questions. Just by the way, just if someone think a question afterwards, these are my contact about me, us, and we will be more than happy to go through everything that you need. Because we understand that blockchain it could really feels very complex, but it's not. It's more than easy. The only thing that the takeaways are that increased trust, transparency. It brings back this human-centric type of system and world, and is the perfect and the only solution that it is possible for HR. I cannot think another better solution better. So that's how I think we should embrace it, and especially in the HR industry. And as mentioned, we are starting working with Gap Tracer. But our idea is, of course, we are use casing for build this HR system for all the processes and stages that could work with blockchain. So we will be more than happy to listen to all of you if you have any questions. Okay, so as seems that no one has any questions, I just have to say thank you so much. I have really enjoyed this session. I hope that everyone can start thinking about blockchain. And of course, if someone wants to reach me, reach us, please do so. You have all my details in there. I hope to see you all very soon. Thank you so much. The HR regional conference to having me this year. I hope to see you next year as well. Thank you, Arpi, Maria, Yegine, for all the hard work. Thank you so much. And I hope that we can see each other next year face to face. Have a lovely afternoon, everyone. Bye.